not everybody has the luxury of a QS on their team on a full-time basis. And then you might have the owner of the business making decisions off the fly, but he's not or she's not being held accountable for the decisions that they're making. And I think a lot of the audience that would probably listen to this podcast would be in that bracket where, they're the admin, they're the business developments, they're the commercial director, they're, procurement, they're safety, they're everything. And maybe the QS only comes in once every 2 weeks or once a month to do any evaluations and stuff like that. So, is there some sort of models you could talk to us about how how people should piece that bit together so that, there is the accountability that, even if I'm the CEO of the business, I cannot make decisions off the fly just for the sake of thinking, I trust this customer and I want to keep the job going.
Well, I think that probably comes from the CEO as to how he wants some of his projects.
Yeah.
You've got to set the projects up in the right way, haven't you, with the right intention to deliver a scheme in accordance with the contract.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, which, we've got to remember, most contracts are negotiated far away from the project team.
Yeah.
One of my clients, I'm part of the commercial team or the project team that helps to negotiate the contract. So we're fully embedded as a squad.
Yeah.
In that process. Because
and you take ownership for that as well.
Absolutely. I take ownership for the commercial aspects, but the practicalities of delivering is, the responsibility of the project management team. However, there is a collective responsibility because the project delivery goes hand in hand with the finances and the health and safety aspects. So I think if CEOs run around making decisions, if I was part of the project team, I'd be making sure that we've given the advice to the CEO in some shape or form, i.e. through some reporting mechanism, so at least he can be informed when making those on-the-fly decisions. What you can't do is control the head of the business making such decisions.
Yeah.
And I've experienced it as a site QS, where I did my job and the managing director made a completely different decision. But that was up to them at that point. Yeah. And there was wider business considerations, which I understood throughout, my career, and expanding on my experience and becoming more experienced in project delivery.
But does it not beggar the question then that, CEOs, when they don't have a commercial director, because they don't have the capacity to employ a commercial director, that they need to have somebody on their right-hand side or left-hand side that is holding them accountable. And a lot of these guys get into an isolated sort of model where they're making decisions off the fly, and they kind of have, I can just see it myself, they kind of have this sense of judgment that's only going to cost about $5,000. I can take that because I'll have X amount of people and it'll only take a couple of days to do that job and I'll be out the gap. And it's kind of like, it's like literally in nanoseconds they make that decision that, I'm going to lose a bit of money, but I'll get it somewhere else. And then it becomes another thing the following week or the following month, whatever else. I'm just thinking, really it, as you said, it's sticking in my head. Like, if the CEO of the business is not taking the accountability of themselves into consideration to run a construction project, that they should have somebody that's on their peace of mind board, if you like. It could be their wife, it could be your partner, it could be anybody, it could be, brother, sister, uncle. It doesn't have to, you don't have to be a big tier 1, tier 2 company. I'm talking about, small to medium independent contractors that are the ones that are going bust on a regular basis. They need to have that sort of, hey, why did you make that decision this week? Kind of chat. And then if they rationalize it to the point that you've just rationalized that managing director making that decision, well, then it's fine. But the problem is, you're going to hear people screaming at the screen or into their phones at the moment, is that, there is no, you probably don't know that person has made that decision, and it's not shared with the team.
Again, that comes down to how you communicate probably as a team, upstream, downstream. There is, hundreds of thousands of companies out there that don't have that person that just says, well, hang on a minute, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that?
Yeah.
But conversely, you do get owners of businesses who don't want to hear the negative because they're interested in driving turnover or getting to the next project or, whatever. And they don't want the negativity around their decision making. But there is ways you can provide subtle advice without telling somebody what they should be doing.
Yeah. There's no point in having all these fancy systems and processes and maybe having people coming in and implement an ISO into your system, and then the managing director goes in and says, no, we'll do that, that's fine, don't worry about it, we'll get it done. What's the point?